All over the world, species clash in nature's savage battle of survival. On the plains, under desert skies, and in the open ocean, all are locked in deadly conflict. Animals fight tooth and claw to win food, territory, and rights to the bloodline. From the tip of South America to the outback of Australia, there are no rules. This is Animal Fight Night. Lose the battle for the bloodline, and you're on nature's garbage pile. A no-holds-barred fight between red kangaroos is never far away. Males train as kickboxers from an early age. A fearsome claw on their hind legs can disembowel dogs and humans. Winners mate. Losers are exiled to the outskirts of the mob. The red kangaroo can cover over 25 feet in a single bound. And they use the same muscles to fight. Rusty is a 6-year-old battle-hardened bruiser. He wants to take over a mob, but first must whack the wise guy. No moves are out of bounds. Short front legs wield sharp claws. They can hold an opponent close in a fight. The wise guy leans on his tail to unload both barrels. The red kangaroo's tail is strong enough to support its body weight of nearly 200 pounds, half of which is pure muscle. And 44% of that is in their upper hind legs. The muscles here are attached to bone with strong elastic tendons. These enhance the power of the kangaroo's leap and its kick. The male's skin is up to twice as thick across their abdomen to protect them from an opponent's feet. Kangaroos can even retract their testicles to guard against low blows. Now Rusty, younger and fitter, kicks back. Females don't care who wins. They just want a strong male. But it's everything to Rusty. Male red kangaroos never stop growing. As they get bigger, they become more dominant, until they challenge for the top spot. The older wise guy's bigger and stronger, but Rusty thinks he has what it takes. Rusty gets a powerful kick. If he loses, his chances of mating look slim. His opponent's on the ropes. Sometimes it's not the big hits that decide the fight. A sly uppercut fells the wise guy. Another punch sends him packing. This mob has a new alpha male. And the wise guy is on the trash pile. When two predators go head-to-head, it's not just a question of who can dish it out, but who can take it. The honey badger. Some say he's the toughest animal in the world. Bee stings are nothing to him. He'll even take on prey as deadly as the cobra. His attitude outweighs his size. And when night falls, it's his favorite time to hunt. He tracks down a puff adder, a snake that can kill a lion. First, he boldly steals a gerbil from the snake's mouth. Then, goes after the adder itself for dessert. Puff adders can grow to almost 4 feet. Large fangs and a deadly bite usually mean death. Success. He takes the snake out, but at a terrible cost. The badger appears to black out. Has he met his match? After 2 hours, something amazing happens. He seems to be resistant to the venom, and he digs in for a post-snooze protein feast. He's Mr. Die Hard. But nobody told this leopard. He stalks a honey badger up a tree. He captures the badger, and a battle of wills begins. But Mr. Die Hard is a slippery customer who bites back. Leopards paralyze their prey with a chomp to the neck. But Die Hard has baggy skin that can withstand a machete hit. So it's like trying to bite through a squirming sleeping bag. Die Hard has yet another crafty card to play. A stink bomb. Honey badgers have 2 enlarged anal glands. They produce a foul-smelling yellow liquid. When threatened, the honey badger ejects this liquid through its anus. It can deter predators more than 140 feet away. The defense works. For a moment. Die Hard's head is in a vice grip. But he's a tough snack to crack. Die Hard's claws draw big cat blood. But it's not enough to save him. There'll be no sequel for this Die Hard. Sometimes it's not claws, teeth, and horns that decide a fight. It's the thermometer. Lion-on-lion battles over territory are always brutal. But when the mercury hits the 80s, fighting can be fatal. Two lionesses feast in the midday sun. It's never too hot to eat. But they've strayed into another pride's territory. The smell attracts a pair of unruly teenagers, hungry for some fast food. It's a big risk. But the teens are on home turf. Two of the young lions' fellow Pride members turn up for a seat at the table. Heads low and lips tight, they signal that the trespassing lionesses need to find another restaurant. Outnumbered, one of the lionesses runs. But in the harsh sun, she soon overheats. As she moves, metabolic energy converts into kinetic energy and heat. To cool herself down, she pants, the same as cats and dogs. Inhaled air passes through spiral structures in the nasal passage and cools the blood flowing through them. This cooled blood spreads throughout her body, while she breathes out the warmed air. But to pant, she must stop, with her pursuers right on her tail. The lioness twists to sink her canines into one of their bellies. Her attackers aim for her spinal cord, which could paralyze her. It's now 6 against 1. Outnumbered in the heat, the lioness faces death. But this experienced girl still has cards to play. Surrounded by 6 young attackers from another pride, a lone lioness searches for an escape route. Lions' muscular bodies generate lots of heat. If she doesn't rest soon, the 80-degree temperature could kill her instead. This is big cat chess. The wrong move could be fatal. Direct stares are a sign of confrontation. Pride members move in for an endgame. It's fight or flight. But she can't run for long. Exhausted by the blistering heat, she must make a stand. It's now an endurance test. Who can handle the heat? Her only hope is to outlast her pursuers. They retreat a few yards to keep guard from the shade. Rapid breathing over saliva creates foam. It shows that she's heat-stressed. She must act soon. When her pursuer's eyes close, she gambles and slips away. Cunning and endurance defeat inexperienced youth. In the animal kingdom, alliances form. But when they break down, catastrophe can follow. Herds of antelope and zebra often graze together. It's an alliance that can save lives. More eyes mean a better chance to spot predators. And zebra aren't afraid to use their speed to drive them off. A hartebeest herd rests. But zebra are on alert. Something spooks them. A female attacks. But what they think is a deadly hyena is just a hartebeest calf, less than a month old. He's about the same color and size. Mom checks her baby is alive, then goes after the lynch mob. Her horns can skewer a zebra's abdomen. Now they intimidate, surrounding the hartebeests and calf. Once zebra identify a threat, there's no recall code for mistaken identity. It's mob mentality. A lucky escape for the calf, but he's not out of danger. Hartebeest calves stay with their mothers for up to 3 years. So 2-year-old big sister's on hand to protect her brother. Mom charges, but misses. Unable to see his protectors, the calf runs on. Bad strategy. He's about to face an onslaught more savage than anything that's come before. A hartebeest calf tries to escape the hooves of murderous zebra, but fails. It's the same strategy zebra use against packs of hyena. While the zebra regroup, another hartebeest arrives and escorts the calf to safety. Against all the odds. In nature's battles, escape plans are key, but move too slow, and you're a goner. Meet the wheel spider, a master of the quick getaway. It folds its legs like the spokes of a wheel and rolls away at up to 5 feet a second. He lives high on sand dunes, so he can quickly flee danger. This venomous spider shelters from the midday sun in a burrow and hunts by night, waiting to pounce on prey. He's an expert killer. Across the sand, a wasp approaches. She smells the spider in his burrow, more than 3 feet below the surface, but doesn't flee. Instead, she digs. She's a spider wasp, and she wants the wheel spider as food for her larva. The wasp will attack with a sting. Glands attached to the stinger release venom to paralyze the spider. She lays an egg through an opening at the base of the sting called an ovipore. It sits on the immobile spider, and when the larva hatches, it will eat him alive. Spines on her legs can shift 10 pounds of sand in one hunt. It's a rude awakening. If the spider can get to a slope, he can shift to his wheel shape and escape. The wasp circles. She's the lightweight in this martial arts match, but her hardened exoskeleton means spider bites can't penetrate. First contact, body slam, a vulnerable position, quickly righted. She targets his abdomen. The spider must keep the wasp away from his soft body. But his legs can't hold her off. She lands a sting. The getaway master's wheel is clamped. His destination is a pre-prepared shallow grave. A single egg is laid on his live, paralyzed body. The spider is a zombie, good only for food. The wasp larva will eat his vital organs last, so their meal stays alive and fresh for up to 2 weeks. And Mother Wasp heads out to find her next victim. On the savannah, winners take opportunity where they can find it. In East Africa, spotted hyenas kill nearly all their own food. They're feared predators and scavengers. But there's a thief in their midst. Golden jackals often use their superior agility to steal the hyena's food. But it's a dangerous strategy, as the thief of the meal can become the meal itself. This young hyena spots a vulnerable jackal pup. But pups come with family. The whole pack looks out for each other. A tackle. The jackal pup is down. But the hyena faces the fury of the whole jackal family. Jackal pups are at most risk from predators for nearly 4 months after birth. This hyena's jaws can crush a bowling ball. So the jackals attack from the rear. Mobbing distracts the hyena. But he finds the pup's neck. The jackals must work fast. A second hyena approaches, hoping for a feast. Even 4 furious jackals can't deter the attacker. The battered pup makes a break for it, but he's too slow. The second hyena arrives. And it's no longer about if, but who gets it. Jackal family bonds run deep. And even when 4 more hyenas appear, they won't leave their own. The jackal family tried their best, but today is one for the hyenas. In the animal kingdom, trespassers face lethal force. South America. A male Magellanic penguin returns from fishing to defend his family burrow and wait for his bride. Burrows protect young from predators and bad weather. But with over 200,000 Magellanics here every September, property is at a premium. And he'll defend his home to the death. An intruder is house hunting, and he wants to steal the couple's burrow. Magellanic penguins are among the most faithful creatures in the animal kingdom. Couples can pair up for over a decade. But newlyweds must find a home, and stealing one is easier than building from scratch. When the homeowner returns, it's showdown time. They fence with their bills, testing each other. A weaker penguin can back down to avoid injury. Because when a fight starts, it can go all the way. But this squatter likes his odds. The homeowner needs to send him packing. Penguin wings are heavy flippers made of dense bone and pack a powerful punch. Penguins are covered in waterproof feathers and insulating fat that keeps them warm. This also protects their vital organs in a fight. But the back of the neck is less protected. Jugular veins pass through the neck. Penguins aim their blows here, and at the eye, which has a high blood flow. The squatter gets in a series of punches, powered by strong breast muscles designed for swimming. These fighters can deliver up to 9 blows a second. But now the beak becomes a dagger. A merciless stab to the head above the eye. A blind penguin can't hunt. The squatter has had enough. But the homeowner's brutality has just begun. Magellanics are one of the most aggressive penguin species. The squatter is ready to back down. But this homeowner isn't letting it go. He won't risk a comeback. And goes straight for the jugular. Frontier justice for the squatter. Herbivore herds are a tempting buffet for predators. But these beasts won't just lay down and take it. They have their own game plan. Over 1 million white-bearded wildebeest roam the African plains. Their vast herd sizes are a means of defense. The safest animals are those in the center. Midday, while lions and hyenas rest from the heat, danger still lurks. An adventurous wildebeest thinks it's safe to stray. But less than 200 feet behind, a coalition of 3 male cheetahs follows. The stray is unaware. Cheetahs may be the least powerful big cat, but they've traded strength for speed and can run at nearly 70 miles per hour. One cheetah stops the stray reaching safety, while another keeps the herd at bay. It's an ambush. But the wildebeest still holds a few aces. Killer heels. When wildebeest spot a predator, they stamp and call to raise the alarm. Then gang together. For now, the stray holds his own. Wildebeest can pivot on a dime, thanks to long legs and small hooves. Cheetahs dig in their claws to make quick turns. But the big cat attack plan is in disarray. A teammate pushes back the herd. They taunt their target, but leave a gap. The cheetah's explosive speed means they're quickly exhausted. Only half of their chases end in a kill, and this stray lives to graze another day. When animals find plentiful food, they may be in luck, but chances are a predator wants to put them on the menu. When night falls off the California coast, it's time for a dance where you have to watch your step. A red octopus hunts. Chemical receptors on its suckers help unearth hidden food, like a swimming crab. Jet-like funnels propel the octopus. But this crab is also swift. Crabs have 10 legs, and the 5th legs of swimming crabs are modified into paddles. These paddles enable them to hover in water and swim sideways very quickly. And their sharp claws are positioned perfectly to deal with pursuers. Add a feisty temper, and the quick-step swimming crab is no easy meal. But the octopus has venom in her armory. A sharp beak can crack the crab's shell and inject poison. The crab anticipates each move, so his pursuer tries a sneaky probe with a single arm before a full-on assault. As she prepares for the kill, this octopus has no idea of the horror that awaits. An octopus is about to snack on a tasty swimming crab. But someone cuts in. As she moves in for that fatal embrace, an even bigger diner shows up. In some areas, octopus is nearly half of a harbor seal's diet. But this crab needs to make an exit. Seals also enjoy a crustacean side dish. In nature's arms race, your weapons can decide whether you live or die. So when your opponent has 24-inch horns, you need to be sure you want to fight. Highland bulls are true warriors. Some say they were brought to Scotland by Viking raiders. They're built tough for the extremes. An alpha bull bellows to the herd. He's a combat veteran. Another bull calls out a challenge. He thinks this alpha is past his prime. At stake, mating rights within the herd. They're in the same heavyweight class. The challenger steals the first move. Bull skulls have evolved to be thicker than the cows. They're like bone helmets. The alpha's hide shields the blow, but he's rattled. The challenger pushes his advantage, but loses traction in the mud. No prize is worth the cost of injury. He who backs down first loses. These horns clear snow in winter so they can find food. But today they decide which animal passes on its bloodline. The seasoned alpha meets every challenge with nearly a ton of force. His opponent hangs back, a white flag to his alpha. And he walks alongside to show he accepts he's lost this time. But he may challenge for dominance again. Bulls are also masters of the ocean. When seal bulls fight, beaches become bloody battlegrounds. Gray seals only mate once a year. When they come ashore to pup, it's a countdown to carnage. Around 16 days after giving birth, females can breed again. The most dominant males get the best position, closest to the fertile females. That leads to bloody battles. Females need to protect their pups. Bull seal fights only end when the loser backs down. The winner is known as Beachmaster. Arrivals return from the ocean means this Beachmaster has competition for his lineage. Both heavyweights tip the scales at over 600 pounds. Size matters in seal mating. The largest bulls father 10 times as many pups as the smallest. This 2-month breeding season is their only chance to further their bloodline. So these bulls are prepared for war. 4 sharp canine teeth, each nearly an inch long, are backed by a bite force that can shear flesh from porpoises. The seal's skin boasts cross-collagen fibers. It's tough enough to withstand a blade. Beneath this is over 2 inches of fatty tissue, which offers protection to internal organs as well as from the cold. The challenger counterattacks. He wants a spot closer to the ladies. Their front flippers are tipped with 4-inch claws. But seals fight face-on and protect their tail flippers. If they can't swim, they can't hunt. The bloodied Beachmaster backs away and rolls over to say, "It's over." At a safe distance, he turns tail and retreats. The beach has a new master, and he gets the pick of the ladies. All over the world, species clash in nature's savage battle of survival. On the arid savanna, below the waves, and in the dense rainforest, all are locked in deadly conflict. Animals fight tooth and claw to win food, territory, and rights to the bloodline. From Botswana's Okavango Delta to America's Yellowstone National Park, there are no rules. This is Animal Fight Night. In the animal kingdom, blood is often thicker than water. But when sibling rivalry turns toxic, blood ties can lead to bloodbaths. On the African savanna, a lion is looking to mate. This lioness is in heat. But Big Brother watches, and he's not happy. Lions are the only cats that live in large family groups. And males form strong brotherly bonds. As cubs, they learn skills that will keep them alive as adults. In their bachelor pride, brothers hunt as one. But their alliance will crack if they both want the same girl. Broken Tail is the dominant male of the pride. His damaged tail is a battle trophy. As boss, he has the pick of the pride's lionesses, guaranteeing his bloodline. His little brother must mate behind his back. But this location is exposed. Broken Tail launches a furious attack. One of the biggest causes of death among lions is other lions. Their deadly claws can rip flesh straight from the bone. Contracted muscles straighten the toe bones and pull the 1.5-inch claws out into the attack position. Relaxing his muscles, the tendons retract and the claws move back up into the paw, keeping them razor sharp and ready for battle. Broken Tail is unbalanced. Little brother seizes the advantage. A swipe to the face narrowly misses his eye. Broken Tail needs to close this down. A dominant shove, and peace is restored. The young blood will be lucky to remain in the pride. Broken Tail can claim his prize, if he can find her. She's playing hide and seek. Each year, lions kill 250 human beings. Hippopotamuses kill 500. In Central Africa, only half of newborn hippos survive their first year. Females can only have one calf every 2 years, so each child is precious. When a predator threatens, the pod closes ranks. Heading up this defensive order is the pod father. The leader of the pod has a constant entourage of youthful admirers. But this young bull wants his crown. The pod father is gonna teach the upstart a lesson. His calves crowd around. The hippo is one of the most feared animals in Africa. These 2.5-ton heavyweights have the strength to launch themselves out of the water, run 30 miles per hour, and lay waste to those who stand in their way with their bone-crushing jaws. The podfather makes the upstart an offer he shouldn't refuse. He flicks dung with his tail, a stinky display of dominance that says it's not too late to back down. As his calves jockey for position, the podfather launches his attack. Hippo fights make for an extreme spectator sport. It's first blood to the newcomer. A hippo's jawbone hinge is set far back, allowing the mouth to open 150 degrees. The upstart is stronger, but the podfather has experience. He gores the challenger's upper palate. The upstart retaliates, but the old-timer is too wily. The onlookers scatter as the podfather launches another attack. The podfather is victorious, but his triumph is bittersweet. A victim of friendly fire, one of his calves strayed too close to the action. In the animal kingdom, the fight for survival begins the moment you're born. But most don't face this battle alone. Not when mom's got their back. America's Yellowstone National Park. Over 2 million acres of rugged battleground. The warriors, North America's largest mammal, the bison, and the legendary gray wolf. Wolves work as a pack and pick out the weakest bison. A young calf, his only chance is to stick close to his mother. She could crush or gore the wolves. But they see reward, not risk. Holding on to the forest's edge, they have a chance. Bison need 15 pounds of food a day. They constantly search for fresh pasture. Adult bison can easily make the crossing. But the current is strong. The calf is lost to the river. But the herd must move on. The calf washes up on a small island. The newborn faces his first night without his mother's protection. The little one makes it to morning. He's hiding, in plain sight. But not for long. Wolves have a sense of smell 100 times stronger than our own. Stranded, the young bison has no escape. His horns won't develop until he's 7 years old. But instinct tells him to charge. The wolf's attack is frenzied. The calf retaliates. But with nowhere left to run, the calf is living on borrowed time. Bison calves only have a 50-50 chance of surviving their first year. Under attack from a lone wolf, it's unlikely this newborn will make it past another week. But the cavalry arrives. It's Mama to the rescue. The calf finds renewed strength through hope. A tender reunion. The calf takes a well-deserved feed. The wolf must look elsewhere for his next meal. Predators are not a mother's only fear. The greatest danger to a newborn can be closer to home. Nile crocodiles are apex predators. They eat anything they want. But once a female croc lays her eggs, the hunter becomes the hunted. A female crocodile guards her buried eggs. Uninvited visitors, like monitor lizards and baboons, wait for her to drop her guard. To them, her precious eggs are a delicious meal to go. The surviving eggs hatch. Now she needs to get her precious infants to the safety of the water. Nile crocodiles have one of the highest bite forces of any living animal. But today, she uses her jaws for the most delicate of tasks. Along with their 68 flesh-shredding teeth, crocodile jaws are packed with delicate sensory organs. When hunting prey, they can detect the slightest change in water movement. But the most responsive sensors are found near the croc's teeth, allowing her to cradle her baby, safe and sound. Mother croc spots another unwanted visitor. In a crowded nesting area, baby croc's calls sound similar. The intruder seemingly mistakes the baby's cries for her own brood. She thinks Mother Croc is a kidnapper. Mother Croc still cradles the baby in her mouth. Mother Croc increases her attack with the momentum gained by thrusting her powerful tail muscles. The battle moves to the water's edge. Mother Croc blocks the intruder's path to the nest. She still delicately nurses the baby. The intruder clamps down with a 3,000-pound bite. That's the same weight as a small car. Mother Croc is forced into submission. The intruder steals her babies down to the river. But there's a twist in this crocodile's tale. This basque of baby crocs is now being shared between two caring mothers. For some creatures, answering the call of nature can be a matter of life or death. Hidden in the highest branches of the Amazon jungle lurks a mysterious creature. Boasting 4-inch scythe-like claws, an innate ability to blend into its surroundings, and a smile that could light up the darkest of rooms. This is the three-toed sloth. Hooked claws allow sloths to do everything while hanging from treetops, except poop. This angel-faced tree hugger drags herself to a neighboring tree to perform her weekly motions. But sloths are the world's slowest mammal. And every second she's on the ground, she's open to attack. Her scent is picked up. By a hungry predator. When it comes to small cats, pumas are the biggest, with a range that stretches across much of the Western Hemisphere. They can leap as high as a 2-story building and run up to 45 miles an hour. Powerful legs and sharp claws disable and control their prey, while vertebrae-splitting jaws seal the deal. The sloth's greatest defense is camouflage. They're so slow that algae grows on their fur, blending in with the treetops, which is where she needs to be. But sloths don't do fast. It's natural-born killer versus natural-born dozer. Proportionately, pumas have the longest hind legs in the cat family, perfect for launching themselves into trees. The predator's violent lunges shake the whole tree. She holds on tight. But the predator does something extraordinary. A puma's 2-inch claws aren't as long as a sloth's, but by making them sharper, he'll be able to climb higher. Close, but not close enough. She's one lucky sloth. But this is one clever puma. The 88-pound cat has gravity on his side. If the sloth loses her grip, she loses her life. This is a treetop tug of war. But the puma is tired of hanging around. The cat's sharp claws allow him to climb up to the sloth. And his large canine teeth slot between her vertebrae. The puma is ruthlessly efficient. The sloth's end is mercifully quick. Some fights are won before the first blow. But when the war of wills is through, it's time to put up or shut up. On the Okavango Delta, Botswana, a cold war is underway. A rookie giraffe challenges a dominant male to a duel over mating rights. But it's a stalemate. A high dirt bank separates them. Needing 75 pounds of vegetation a day, disputes often erupt over feeding sites. But when rival giraffes clash over mating rights, they don't hold back. The longer the neck, the harder the hit. Both rookie and champ are desperate to settle the score. The champ wants to find a path through. But with the security of a 3-foot blockade, the rookie tries to intimidate the old-timer. Ball and socket joints give giraffe necks incredible maneuverability. But the rookie's swing falls short. The champ bides his time to save energy. Battling giraffes can injure, knock out, or even kill a rival. Their heads have thick skin and large skulls. They're a lethal wrecking ball. The champ's horn-like ossicones are more developed than the rookie's. These lumps of bone, covered in skin and fur, grow with age and use. Preoccupied with goading the old-timer, the rookie misses a gap in the blockade. But the champ sees it. This Cold War is about to get hot. Like a prize fighter, the champ mixes his blows to unbalance his rival. The champ gets the rookie on the ropes. And that blow to the throat seals the deal. The defeated rookie returns to the bachelor herd. For the victor, a champion's reception and some well-earned R&R. When animals fight for a mate, it helps ensure the survival of the species. When they fight for food, it's for their own survival. Once snow blankets Finland, brown bears sleep it out for 6 months. But they don't just set an alarm for spring and get their heads down. They must prepare. Even hibernating, a brown bear burns 4,000 calories a day. In the weeks before turning in, he doubles his body weight, feasting on around 90 pounds of food a day. But getting hold of that much chow is serious business. And bears don't share. Winter is closing in, and this bear has hit on a rich feeding ground. But he's been beaten to it by Old Ben. Both bears need to pile on the pounds, and the newcomer wants in on Old Ben's feast. The older bear urinates to say, "I was here first." Some of the world's biggest brown bears are found in Europe. Omnivores, they have 42 teeth to rip, cut, and grind flesh. And these menacing teeth are also deadly weapons. The older bear drools. A clear sign he's anxious. It's a deadly standoff. When two brown bears want to feed from the same piece of land, neither backs down. Old Ben launches 600 pounds of muscle, teeth, and claws. The newcomer is thrown, but lashes out. He sinks his claws into Old Ben's back. A brown bear's claws are 4 inches long and don't retract. A swipe can be deadly. Old Ben's claws come close to gouging the newcomer's eye. A final shove, and they're done. Old Ben has had enough. With winter around the corner, he knows his time will be better spent feeding than feuding. In combat for the Bloodline, warriors have only one thing on their mind: survival. But with all eyes on the battle, who's watching their backs? On Kenya's savannah, constant vigilance is the price Impala pay for survival. Living in herds, hundreds of eyes keep constant watch. At the first sign of danger, they bark out an alarm, and the herd takes flight. Capable of leaping 33 feet, a vigilant Impala can evade the usual suspects. Mating season is one of the few times that Impalas stray from the safety of the herd. A rival buck challenges the chief. The aim is to lock their ridged horns around their opponents, throw them off balance, and then gore them. To the victor, exclusive mating rights. To the loser, serious injury or death. The chief has strength on his side, but the challenger fights back. The chief twists his challenger and pulls him off his feet. Defeat would banish any hope of mating, pair squares up, bracing for the next attack. Focused on the rut, the Impala are oblivious to the Lionesses' approach. The challenger has nowhere to go but down. The chief instinctively heads back to safety. It's a triple victory. He survived the fight, the lion attack, and he's still head of the herd. And his latest challenger has been permanently dealt with. The battle is not always to the mighty. A master of defense can go head-to-head with the most vicious assassin and waddle away to tell the tale. The warm waters of Hawaii are an inviting aquatic paradise. But don't be fooled. Everywhere you turn, it's eat or get eaten, kill or be killed. Living in a tough neighborhood, the day octopus has amazing survival superpowers. Like an aquatic X-Man, they're the ultimate defender. Sophisticated skin cells, called chromatophores, allow the 8-armed wonder to change color, instantly camouflaging itself. They have no internal or external skeleton, allowing them to squeeze through the smallest of gaps. The octopus is one of Mother Nature's most versatile creations. But to a yellow-edged moray eel, he's a ready filleted pack of protein. Color-changing camouflage is wasted on this assassin. With poor eyesight, moray eels rely on their excellent sense of smell to hunt in the dark. This one is working the day shift. He must be hungry. First attack, and the octopus loses a tentacle. But it'll take more than a bite to take down the master of defense. A deadly moray eel attacks his victim. The assassin severs one of the day octopus's 8 tentacles. But the octopus fights back. His tentacles boast powerful suckers that hold the eel tight. A moray eel's bite packs a terrifying secret. Backwards pointing teeth grip the octopus firm, while a second set of jaws shoots forward and drags flesh deeper into his throat to eat. But the octopus has his own eerie trick. 2/3 of his neurons are in his arms, which means they can taste, touch, and control basic motions independently from his brain. So his severed arm can squeeze the moray's face, despite being completely detached from his body. Unable to swim free, the moray executes Plan B. He uses his powerful muscles to unseat the stubborn octopus. The defender unleashes another superpower. The cloud of black ink confuses the assassin, and the defender is gone. Accelerating rapidly by forcing water through his muscular funnel. And he won't worry about his absent arm. Already a color-changing, shape-shifting, ink-squirting, jet-propelled superhero. Octopuses can also regrow missing limbs. The assassin will need to look elsewhere for his next meal. When someone stands between you and the survival of your bloodline, they need to be dealt with. By fair means or foul. Deep in a German forest, a desperate mission is underway. High-stakes speed dating. He spent the first 5 years of his life looking like this. Now our handsome hero has just 2 short months as a stag beetle to find a mate and sow his seed. Stag beetles feed on the sap of giant oaks. And today, our hero sniffs out a stash of the energy-packed, sugary goodness. The bees beat him to it, but he knows that where there's sap, there'll be female beetles. Bingo. One gorgeous female. But the course of true love never runs smooth. Our hero has a rival. Stag beetles are the armor-plated heavyweights of the insect world. Extended antler-like jaws are their main source of attack. Ounce for ounce, male stag beetles' jaws clamp down with greater bite force than a Nile crocodile. Beetle jaws work like pliers. The more power applied, the stronger the bite. Instead of long levers, stag beetles have massive muscles, angled perfectly for optimum force. And to make room for the larger muscles, a male stag beetle's head is 3 times wider than a female's. Like sumo wrestlers, they want to throw their opponent clean out of the arena. Our hero has larger jaws and plays the advantage. Legs in the air, his rival is powerless to fight back. A second chance. Once again, our hero makes the power play. Round 1 to our hero. But this battle is about to get extreme. A pair of stag beetles clash over a female. Stag beetles have wings, but he doesn't have time to deploy them. Tough armor protects his fall. Like all insects, stag beetles have an external skeleton known as an exoskeleton. It's made from the bundled rows of a substance called chitin, which makes it an extremely light but extremely strong body armor. Even those powerful pincers are lightweight because aside from nerves, they're hollow. The rival limps back. The stakes are too high to throw in the towel. His determination is beyond doubt, but so is our hero's dominance. Once again, his longer jaws overpower the rival. But the hero has yet another challenger. Our beautiful heroine must wait for her happy ever after. There's stag's work to be done. On nature's battlefield, size does matter. When 2 beasts go head-to-head, odds are the bigger guy takes the spoils. But sometimes the little guy beats the odds. It's dusk. A mongoose heads out for the night, while the early shift clocks off. A pack of wild dogs returns from their hunt, and they're still hungry. Wild dogs have poor night vision. Hunting by daylight, they prey on larger beasts. They have one of the strongest bites of any carnivorous mammal. The mongoose is the ultimate underdog. Armed with nothing but claws, jaws, and a serious amount of guts, these feisty lightweights can fight deadly cobras and win. Their usual diet is a less lethal mix of rodents, insects, and lizards. Hunting in the dark, their distinctive horizontal pupils usually give them excellent night vision. But tonight the little guy didn't see the wild dogs until it was too late. The mongoose is surrounded. Dogs attack from every direction. Cornered, he releases a noxious stink from his anal gland. It doesn't work. But his next nasal assault is even more aggressive. This little bruiser clamps down. Pound for pound, a mongoose bite is mightier than a fully grown lion's. The little guy makes a mockery of this elite fighting unit. The smaller animal has faster reflexes. As it responds to danger, the body sends signals along neurons between the brain and muscles. The mongoose's neurons are shorter than the wild dog's, so the signals have less distance to travel. This means the mongoose's muscles are activated 40% faster than a wild dog's, allowing it to jump clear of the danger. But wild dogs are pack animals. Working together, they're a ruthless killing machine. The little guy's rapid-fire reactions allow an escape that would make Houdini proud. But the hounds taste blood. Houdini has run out of fight. And the pack take victory. Wild dogs are the endurance predator elite. They pursue their prey to the point of exhaustion and show no mercy. All over the world, species clash in nature's savage battle of survival. On the open plains, in the jungle underworld, and beneath desert skies, all are locked in deadly conflict. Animals fight tooth and claw to win food, territory, and rights to the bloodline. From the heart of Africa to the Himalayas, there are no rules. This is Animal Fight Night. In the forests of India, the real king of the jungle attacks a sloth bear mom. But she is no easy meal. The sloth bear has an identity crisis. First thought to be a sloth, it acts more like an anteater. Its 3-inch claws crack rock-hard earth to find termites. A gap in its front teeth helps suck them up. And its sloth-like shaggy coat shields against insect bites. Cubs live with mom for almost 3 years. And she's fiercely protective. But the forest hides deadlier foes than other bears. These deer are not alone. A Bengal tiger, 500 pounds of ambush assassin, can strike at 35 miles an hour and break a neck with a sudden bite. A hunt in 100 degrees is thirsty work for this prime male. But someone else wants a drink. A 3-year-old sloth bear cub. To the tiger, he's cat food. But it won't come cheap. Mom throws herself in harm's way. The predator's fangs search for her neck. But Mom squirms free. At less than half his weight, she has to go big. When threatened, sloth bears charge and stand tall to intimidate. It's a bluff. And it works. For now. Mom must make sure he doesn't sneak back. She risks her own life to protect her cub, but pushes the cat too far. His lightning reactions are hardwired. In a tiger's nervous system, the neurons are supersized with massive branches, so they send signals to the muscles extremely fast, which gives the cat incredible reaction speeds. He has a bone-crunching 1,000-pound bite, but those 3-inch canines are sensitive. A network of pressure-sensing nerves means he can precisely locate the kill spot at the spinal cord just by feeling with his fangs. If his teeth find their target, she's dead. Her cub can only watch. The tiger tires. Mom seizes her moment. She has 1.5-inch killer fangs, and her rock-cracking claws can be lethal. She's injured, but drives the predator back. The ambush assassin again calls her bluff. A tiger can swipe with 10 times the force of a heavyweight boxer. But he's unbalanced and just tags skin. This bear ain't worth the fight. Nature's battles aren't always won by size. It's the risks you're prepared to take. Sticking together can improve your odds. Alone, you could be a dead dog walking. Winter in Yellowstone can hit -60, and no one wants to be left out in the cold. In a coyote pack, Only the alphas hold breeding rights. But this young rebel wants to mate. The alpha male sees him. He'll banish rule breakers from the clan. It's the Coyote Code. The outcast must leave the territory and go solo. On its own, a coyote's survival rate almost halves. But he strikes gold. A deer carcass. Except it's under guard. From North America's biggest raptor. The golden eagle is a 200-mile-an-hour assassin. Her beak is keratin-covered bone, hooked to rip flesh. She'll take on prey up to 6 times her size. So a lone coyote is in trouble. The outcast launches a surprise attack. He's 3 times her weight. But she has a killer advantage. A 7-foot wingspan powers razor-tipped flying kicks. Powerful muscles in an eagle's legs can exert a force of up to 400 pounds. 3 times stronger than a human hand. The grip is near unbreakable. Segmented tendons in the toes lock the talons in place, like a lethal zip tie. The coyote takes the risk. Just one scrap of meat could be life-saving. But she blocks him at every turn. The coyote can't win against the ratchet-clawed guard. The eagle keeps its prize. The outcast needs a meal soon, or he too could become bird food. The Himalayas, home of the mythical Yeti, and the hunting grounds of a real ghost. The snow leopard. She's the apex predator of a territory that rises nearly 20,000 feet. Against rock, her camouflage makes her all but disappear. She's after ibex, but makes a mistake. She's exposed on snowy ground. The ibex spot her. Her cover's blown. In this harsh environment, only 1 in 5 of a snow leopard's hunts ends with a kill. She'll survive off a carcass for up to 4 days. and only hunt less than once a week. A tactic that conserves energy, but means every kill is critical. The ghost finds another target. A barrel. She's a 100-pound prize. But she has her own deadly defense strategy. Specialized split hooves help barrels scale near vertical cliffs. So they graze close to cliff edges to give them a fast escape route and lure enemies into danger. This time, the leopard learns. She stalks low against the rocks, then pounces and makes a deadly error. At a 40-mile-an-hour sprint, the leopard's own momentum takes them both over the edge of a 400-foot drop. They stay locked in mortal combat. The leopard hits powder at over 40 miles an hour. The barrel tries her downhill getaway strategy. But the leopard digs in. Her prey may be a mountain escape artist, but she is a free fall specialist. The midsection of a cat's spine has 3 more vertebrae than a human's, with highly elastic discs. This helps them twist their body in midair to adopt free fall position, an ability known as the aerial righting reflex. By flattening out, they can increase their surface area and their drag. And their long, muscular legs can absorb more energy on impact. So the barrel may be a goner, but the ghost lives on, with a prize that will keep her going for another week. When your gang is over 1,000 strong, making decisions ain't easy. But Cape Buffalo have it covered, through peace or war. When it's time to travel, females favor the democratic approach and vote. There's no ballot box on the Serengeti. So they stand up, each facing the direction they want to move in. Majority rules. Problem amicably solved. Males, on the other hand, can be less diplomatic. A waterhole is everyone's favorite place to chill. But a band of bachelor buffalo are about to change the vibe. Fresh from his mud bath, Dirty Harry thinks he's the boss, while Mr. Clean over here has other ideas. At stake, mating rights in a herd. Mr. Clean and Dirty Harry stride parallel to check out what each other's packing. They're well matched, 50-50. But Mr. Clean wants to improve his odds. With a sneak attack. He meets almost a ton of resistance. Dirty Harry readies for a face-off. But Mr. Clean doesn't feel lucky and backs away. Too late. Harry's pumped for a fight. A bull can drive forwards with the force of a pickup truck. Caught sideways, Mr. Clean can't push back. Another bull takes a ringside seat. It distracts Dirty Harry, while Mr. Clean brings out his magnums. A 4-inch thick battering ram with 3-foot-long hooks, sharp enough to gore the throat. Harry finds traction to unleash his trademark move. He drives his opponent sideways, off balance, and out of contention. Head high, chin out, Dirty Harry shows he's boss. And when the next herd moves through, Harry gets the girls. Survival is a balance between risk and reward. A leopard weighs up her odds. Impala, 100 pounds of protein-rich meat, but faster than her by 10 miles an hour. If it goes wrong, it's energy wasted. So it's an expensive gamble. In her favor, night vision, 6 times more effective than a human's. And her strategy, stealth, gets her close. The gamble pays big. Expert climbers, leopards take their winnings high up in trees, where they can't be reached by scavengers. Unless that scavenger is another leopard. This prowler prefers to let someone else do all the work. And then steal the prize. If she can. The thief scores a morsel. But what she wants is a share of the main course. But so do other deadlier thieves. It's now a fight on 3 fronts. The leopards are not alone. Spotted hyena. Their large numbers and bone-crushing bite usually stack the odds in their favor. even against leopards. They're also clever opportunists. They sense trouble brewing and a chance for a low-energy, low-risk reward. In an animal's brain, a large frontal cortex is believed to aid social communication and problem-solving. The spotted hyenas is highly developed, on par with some of our close primate cousins. So they're not just here to watch, they've got a game plan. They know a leopard fight over prey could mean falling scraps of meat. Above them, the thief sounds a warning. But it falls on deaf ears. Her only course now is war. The hunter defends with both sets of retractable claws. The thief's off balance. The hyena waits. Another swipe. And the thief's down. But the hyena don't want her. The hunter took her paws off the prize and lost it. The hyena plan pays off. Minimum risk, maximum reward. On the African battleground, everyone sees the big guns. But the most effective weapon can be a concealed carry. Red-billed quelea, one of the most destructive birds in the world. 1.5 billion roam sub-Saharan Africa and devour 16,000 tons of vegetation every day. But while mom and dad gather food, day-old chicks are defenseless. Far below, a battalion of armored ground crickets. Harmless hoppers, they ain't. They're also hungry. The crickets are heavy-duty assassins. A powerful bite turns prey into mincemeat, while a tough exoskeleton and thorax spikes shield them from predators. And they have an incredible secret weapon. They'll devour almost anything, even baby birds. Hearing organs in the cricket's knees sense the chick's movements. And lead them to lunch. Not so fast. Mom's beak can pierce insect flesh. But he's armor-plated and deals his secret ace: chemical warfare. The ground cricket has a gruesome defense strategy. It has no blood vessels. Instead, its heart pumps its blood freely around the body. So when a special seam in its leg joint opens, it shoots a high-pressure jet of acrid blood at any target within 2.5 inches. This deters predators and can even temporarily blind them. Eyes full of blood, Mom can't see. But she's not done. The cricket's tough exoskeleton saves him. But the smell of his chemical weapon attracts more hungry mouths. His own army turns on him. These crickets are cannibals. Facing death, prey must make a split-second decision between flight, fight, or fright. On the Serengeti, a lioness strays from her pride and spies prey, an olive baboon. But even against a predator over 5 times his size, this Braveheart won't go down without a fight. An olive baboon is no pushover. From just 6 years of age, a male is battle-ready. He roams from troop to troop to avoid inbreeding, but faces fierce competition for females at every stop. He uses aggressive scare tactics to drive off rivals. The roar grunt, the threat yawn, which bears fangs that can grow even longer than a lion's. And his ace? A kamikaze charge. Baboons also use their scare tactics to frighten off predators. But a lioness loves a baboon buffet. She usually hunts as part of a team and uses ambush tactics to take down prey up to a ton. The lioness tries a sneak attack. But Braveheart pushes back. For a 280-pound predator, 50 pounds of monkey meat is a square meal. But no dish is worth a face full of fang. His scare tactics seem to work. He could quit while he's ahead and run. But he just keeps on pushing. He tries a threat yawn. This time, threats won't help him. The lioness is head of an ambush squad. They take both flanks to corner their prey. The Braveheart baboon pushed too far. Even for scavengers, a free lunch is too good to be true. In the Namib Desert, a stink's in the air. A gemsbok carcass. 10 pounds of protein-rich meat still cling to its bones. It sends a tempting scent for miles. A black-backed jackal and her daughter search for food. Her nose is thousands of times more sensitive than a human's, and picks up rotting flesh from over a mile away. Jackals have a special structure in their nose that humans lack. It's a maze of channels that helps it detect chemicals that we can't even sense and analyze them in extraordinary detail. Each nostril can take in independent scent samples, which helps the jackal zero in on the source of the smell. Even the stench of rotting meat doesn't mask a new scent. Tail down, ears flick. Mom's uneasy. Another jackal, and she's hungry. Today, lunch will come at a price. A 4,000-calorie prize is just enough to keep mom and daughter going for another 2 days. But the newcomer wants a share of their meal. This could go either way. Resident jackals sometimes allow newcomers a seat at their table. They can smell if they're related. If not, the intruder can be sent home with a savage souvenir. Mom's nose will tell her if the stranger is family or not. A raised paw is a peace offering. But Mom won't share. The intruder urinates, a sign she's stressed. Jackals target the throat to kill. Mom takes the ear. It's a canine attack strategy that says, back off. The intruder tries to loosen Mom's grip and aim for her jugular. Mom drives the message home. And it sticks. Mom and daughter reap their reward. The intruder goes hungry, but gets away intact. Scraps over meat may get bloody, but when your whole turf's at stake, it's war. In the Meerkat Kingdom, the queen reigns supreme. Fierce rulers, they're more aggressive than the males, with 3 times the testosterone. This queen is the ultimate working mom. She feeds her young and commands a 30-strong army. As sole breeder, the size of her army is a sign of her success. She's pregnant and won't fight. So her troops will defend with 11 different alarm calls that help identify the enemy and threat level. Their code red is a rival clan. A marauding mob wants to expand its territory. With the queen out of action, it could be the perfect time to strike. The home guard spots them. They'll defend queen and country with their lives. They line up, tails like banners. An intimidation tactic to avoid a costly war. Meerkats may look cute, but they'll fight to the death. They're even known to kill a rival clan's pups. The marauders attack. Their canines target the home guard's throats. Advantage, marauders. Without their fierce queen, the home guard could lose everything. It's first blood to the marauders. But the queen has greater numbers. They overturn the enemy. One of her soldiers aims a parting shot. The chewed tail proves the final blow. The marauders fall back. It's a white flag. With strength in numbers, the queen secures her kingdom. In the jungle underworld, there's a biological weapon so devastating that some believe it defies evolution. A lumbering giant looks for lunch, but finds other hunters. Foraging ants in attack mode. The beetles 60 times their size. But they call in backup from a near indestructible army. Ants have survived for about 140 million years. They lived through the mass extinction that wiped out the dinosaurs. A hardened chitin exoskeleton protects them. But the real secret to their success is their organization. They live in million-strong colonies, but can behave like a single organism. Some even unite and form rafts to survive floods. It makes for an army of hyper-efficient killers. Foragers divide into specialized units. If the first unit finds large prey, it releases chemical trails for backup to follow. These foragers send their message. The beetle is on borrowed time. But it has its own message. Total annihilation. It's a bombardier beetle. One of a family of insects with 200-degree toxic chemicals in their arsenal. Some people believe this weapon is too complex to have evolved naturally. The spray is so hot, it should cook them alive from the inside out. But evolution has an answer to everything. Inside the beetle, two types of gland produce two different chemicals. They're harmless until released together into a reinforced chamber. As the chemicals combine to form a toxic cocktail, the reaction heats it to boiling point. Pressure caused by the heat blasts the spray out in 500 pulses per second, and each pulse allows the chamber to cool, so the beetle doesn't burn up. It can even rotate its cannon 270 degrees for precision firepower. The chemical spray burns an ant's tough chitin exoskeleton. Even nature's doomsday survivors can't handle a bombardier's biological warfare. All over the world, species clash in nature's savage battle of survival. On the open plains, deep in the oceans, and under desert skies, all are locked in deadly conflict. Animals fight tooth and claw to win food, territory, and rights to the bloodline. From the highlands of America to the wilds of Africa, there are no rules. This is Animal Fight Night. Maternal instinct is a formidable defense. But even the most dedicated mothers can't be everywhere at once. African elephants are the biggest mothers that walk the earth. They're near indestructible titans. But calves start out around 40 times lighter than mom, and they need to watch out. A 10-year-old female searches for water with her herd. Adults need to drink almost 50 gallons every day. Highly protective females lead these tight family groups. While the youngster drinks, the herd watches. Elephant trunks can suck up around 3 gallons of water at a time to squirt into their mouths to drink. But this essential multi-tool is also a nose, an alarm call, and a powerful arm. About the only thing it can't do is see. A Nile crocodile. Males defend their territory aggressively. A croc's bite pressure is 7 times greater than a lion's. The little one's trunk may have the thinnest skin on her body, but it too can be a weapon. The trunk has 8 major muscles on each side. Muscles running around the trunk control the volume of the nasal passages and suck up water, while those running lengthwise move the trunk in all directions. In an adult, they're strong enough to kill a lion with a single blow. The youngster thrashes a ton of angry croc. If she's pulled into the river, she'll be in the reptile's domain. In water, a croc's trademark kill strategy is the death roll. It drags victims underwater and spins them with such force that it can dismember their bodies. Without a trunk, the youngster is unlikely to survive. Panic spreads in the herd. But that super strong arm now has the croc out of its territory. Mom's protective instinct kicks in. The croc loosens its grip. And Mom's tusks add some not-so-gentle persuasion. The youngster learns that her most vulnerable asset can be her best defense. This killer croc bit off more than he could chew. Animals clash over territory and food. But for some, the fight to protect their young is the most important battle of all. Monterey Bay is one of the most dangerous places in the world, if you're a mother gray whale. She's on a 12,000-mile round trip to feeding grounds in the Arctic. It's one of the longest migrations of any animal. She's a 40-ton leviathan with little to fear from predators. But her 4-month-old calf is a slow-moving target. Because these are hunting grounds. Beneath the waves, a pod of orcas looks for its next meal. They're the largest of the dolphin family, apex predators of the ocean. They'll work in teams to kill baby whales. It's murky, but these are expert trackers. Orcas have a natural sonar system. They vibrate their nasal passages to make clicking sounds. A mass of fatty tissue in the head, called the melon, focuses the sound waves into a beam. As the beam echoes off objects, the orca's brain interprets it as an acoustic image of its surroundings, which allows them to accurately track a prey's location from half a mile. But close ahead, mother whale's excellent hearing could detect orca clicks. So when they hunt whales, these crafty killers turn off their sonar and close in silently to circle in stealth mode. Mom has over a 30-ton advantage. As long as she stays alongside her calf, it has a chance. orca's 6-ton body blows weaken the calf. Mom tries to heave him out of the water to breathe. But they're both tiring. The orcas enter phase 2 of their kill plan. In an attempt to separate mom and baby, they bully their way between the pair and push down the calf so it can't breathe. The orcas use their 6-ton body weight to try to drown the almost 5,000-pound calf. An adult gray whale can stay submerged for 15 minutes. Its muscles and blood cells store more oxygen than most mammals, and it can dramatically lower its heart rate to consume less oxygen. But the calf can only last for 5 minutes. It's the orca's ace strategy to net a protein-rich feast. But Mom has an ace up her sleeve, too. She turns over and swims belly up. Upside down, she can't breathe. But it gives her calf a platform to lie on. The orcas are outsmarted and exhausted. They'll have to look elsewhere for today's dinner. Mother and calf take a breath and head back to their epic migration. In the land of lions, most hunts are executed by lionesses. Just like any winning team, they need a game plan, especially when the prey is 1,800 pounds of Cape buffalo. As one lioness lays hidden, the rest of her team takes position. Their target is 6 times heavier than they are and can charge at 35 miles an hour. When a buffalo gets going, it's a near unstoppable juggernaut. And it's a lion killer. Lioness tactics work the odds. Hunting in groups increases their chances of a kill by over 10%. To take down one buffalo, first you stalk. Then comes the ambush. And finally, the kiss of death. The suffocation move. But few plans survive contact with the enemy. She's upwind of her prey, and he smells a cat. The plan's busted. The hunter is now the hunted. But what happens next could turn the tables again. buffalo can outrun a lioness over distance. But this game can switch in an instant. And now her team is back on track. Phase 2, the ambush. But this buffalo's not stopping for passengers. It's too much for one 280-pound lioness. More backup arrives. A male lion, weighing in at up to 420 pounds, brings extra power to the hunt. But it's still not enough. To give the kiss of death, they need to slow the buffalo down. A lioness rides the buckaroo, and she's inches from being gored. But the buffalo is shut down and surrounded. Phase 3, the kiss of death. While the rest of the team pins the buffalo down, one member seals off its airways. The plan delivers big time. The Alaskan wilderness. In summer, moose are on high alert as wolf packs target their newborn calves. A pack member picks up a new mother's scent. When predators close in, she'll rush to water, where long legs give her an advantage over the stockier wolves. One of the pack tracks her down. Mom's 7 times heavier. She can smash his skull with a single kick. A second wolf joins the attack. This pool isn't deep enough to deter them. But they don't have the numbers to surround her. Backup arrives. It's now 6 on 2. 700 pounds of moose mom is a feast for the pack. But she's too strong. The mob sticks with the easier target. Wolves attack from all directions to confuse prey. And in the panic, she unleashes one of those deadly hooves on her own calf. She aims another hoof, but it's a miss. 4 wolves distract Mom, which leaves the calf unprotected. Mom beats them back, but she's outflanked. It's only 30 pounds of calf meat, but it'll keep the cunning pack going until tomorrow. When you're the sole breadwinner, it's not just your life at stake. A cheetah single mother needs food. Her cubs haven't eaten for days. But hunting means leaving her infants to fend for themselves. Without mom's protection, they're easy meat for predators. Cub mortality can be as high as 90%. A solo cheetah will often target small antelopes. But today she's desperate and ventures 7 miles from her cubs for wildebeest. It's a protein-rich kill that could feed her family for days. But it could also kill her. The cheetah lacks a lion's strength. Her bones are light and fragile. Faced with up to 30 inches of horns, hunting solo is high risk. And without a mom, her cubs will starve. Mom begins her approach. She attacks from the flanks. It's a miss. Wildebeest can hit speeds of up to 50 miles per hour. But she can't give up. A running cheetah can cover 23 feet with each stride. She punches way above her weight. The wildebeest is about 4 times heavier. If she's going to feed her cubs, Mom must kill quick. But the best way she can kill a wildebeest is by slow strangulation. If one herd member is under attack, backup piles in. A 15-inch horn spears deep into Mom's flank. Impaled on her own prey. It could be a death sentence for Mom and her cubs. An injured hunter can't feed its family. This cheetah mom escapes her would-be prey, but pays a high price. Other predators lurk, and Mom knows leaving her cubs alone for several hours is a risk. There's no good answer. She's escaped today's hunt with her life. But with 4 hungry mouths to feed, she must get back out on the killing fields and bring home the bacon. Battles in nature often call for teeth, claws, or horns, but not always. On the coral reef, 2 worms fight a battle of the sexes with their penises, all 4 of them. Flatworms are hermaphrodites. Each have male and female sex organs. When they mate, they battle with their double-barreled penises to determine who becomes mom and who's the daddy. The loser must bear the young, while the winner floats off fancy-free. 2 flatworms square up, weapons at the ready. One attempts a stab. It's a miss. The aim is to use their spiked penis to pierce the skin. This injects sperm into the body. The sperm works its way to the unfertilized eggs, distributed throughout the flatworm's body. It's known as traumatic insemination. The ejaculate contains components that dissolve skin tissue. It can cause flesh wounds. Battles can last an hour. Just 1 stab is enough to impregnate. Finally, one opponent delivers the winning injection. The penetrated flatworm is now mommy dearest and will have all the parental responsibility. Daddy's work is done. But Daddy can't gloat. The next battle may not go so well. When annual rainfall is less than 10 inches and prey is scarce, you have to make the most of what you've got. Meet the brown hyena. Like the garbage man of the desert, this ruthless scavenger forages alone. Over 115 square miles of territory in the Kalahari Desert. He can sniff out decaying carrion from more than a mile away. And he's fiercely protective of what little he has. To mark his territory, he secretes a stinky white paste from anal glands. It's a warning to outsiders to back off. But one nomadic outsider walks straight past the Keep Out sign. It's gonna be war. A nomadic hyena moves in on a rival's territory. Policing his turf, the landowner takes a stand and raises the hair on his neck almost a foot high. He wants to look big and bad. Both hyenas are evenly matched. Their inch-long canine teeth are designed for tearing flesh. The hyena has a bite pressure of around 1,000 pounds per square inch. That's about 3 times greater than a Rottweiler's. The nomad stands firm. The landowner puts his opponent in a headlock. Then, a counterattack from the nomad. The landowner won't back down. Realizing he's out of his depth, the nomad changes his tune. Heavy cries and vocalizations signal surrender. The ferocious scavenger secures his turf. There's only so much dead meat to go around, and this hyena ain't sharing. Some animals will fight to the death. In nature, you're never down till you're out. On the African savanna, a savage Olympics is underway. An impala races at 30 miles an hour. He's a sprinter. But behind him, a pack of African wild dogs, the ultimate endurance athletes. One of the most successful predators on the savannah, the dogs kill in 4 out of 5 hunts. Known as a hypercarnivore, the majority of their diet is meat, mostly impala. When they're hungry, they'll tail prey for over an hour at speeds of almost 40 miles an hour. What keeps the impala going is fear and adrenaline. As it flees, the impala is under huge stress. This results in the adrenal gland releasing chemical messengers that support the most essential organs needed to run and evade capture. This incredible defense mechanism is part of the fight or flight response. Even so, the impala can't outlast the desperate pack. One pack member gets ahead of the rest. Pound for pound, the wild dog has one of the strongest bites of any African carnivore. But he's not about the instant kill. He'll eat first, kill later. The impala's wound is already fatal. But its incredible survival response kicks in. This prey won't go down without a fight. An African wild dog attempts to eat an impala alive. But despite its guts hanging out, a mortal injury, the impala fights on. Thanks to an amazing physiological response. Inside the impala's brain, the pituitary gland pumps out endorphins. These act as a natural painkiller. At the same time, excess glucose releases into the bloodstream, giving the impala a vital energy boost. Energized and numbed, this impala won't call it quits. Face to face, it's a test of wills. To feed again, the ravenous canine must risk a lethal stab from impala horns. But despite his fighting spirit, the impala can't survive. And the pack arrives to secure its kill. One impala loses the battle. But that same fighting spirit is key to the survival of the species. Even the unlikeliest of animals can be equipped for all-out war. This fella may look peaceful, but the ungulate tortoise packs a deadly weapon. His lower shell extends into a blade. Perfect for ramming and flipping, which can be a death sentence. Tortoises don't fight for fun. They fight to mate. And they'll wage war with anyone who stands between them and their goal. Loverboy has his sights set on a fertile female. He reveals his intentions by biting her legs and tail. But he's not the only one wooed by her scent. The rules are simple. Last man standing gets the girl. Loverboy flips the challenger onto his backside. If he can't get back on his feet, it's game over. But the undergrowth foils the attack. The intense battle rages on, making it easy for this sneaky devil to steal the prize. Loverboy is bowled over and has another fight on his hands. A stranded tortoise can fry in his own shell. This tortoise may not have been toasted, but he lost the fight. And his love. Animals fight for mating rights, usually to pass on their own genes. But some battle for the family bloodline. This turkey will never mate. But he'll fight to exhaustion so his brother can. It's breeding season in South Dakota. And for wild turkey males, the competition to mate is bloody. They leave the brood at just 6 months old to form bands of brothers. Only the dominant bro will ever mate, if they can beat rival sibling posses. two sets of brothers square off at the crossroads. The prize, mating rights for the neighborhood hens. It's the local gang versus the out-of-town posse. First battle is all about the champs, the dominant bros. The gang's big bro gives his rival a 9-pound left hook. The posse's champ hits back. Then the classic turkey move, the beak lock. It's a question of who bends first. But with their wingmen wanting to cut in, things are about to get bloody. A turkey beak lock will go on until the weaker bird quits. But if Big Bro's in trouble, Little Bro will step in and protect Big Bro's back. The loyal little brothers will battle to exhaustion to help their big bros win the chance to mate and pass on the family genes. The posse's little bro takes a beating. Back in a beak lock, the gang's big brother twists his opponent into submission. And the posse is defeated. The winning siblings send their rivals on their way. Only the evidence of the bloody battle remains. Now this sharp-dressed turkey is the dominant bird. Even though Little Bro won't mate, he's done his part to help further the family bloodline. Animals build love nests to woo a mate. But to protect them from trespassers, they'll fight dirty. Field crickets, peaceful country hoppers, or warriors with unbelievable moves. In the sunny meadows of northern Europe, a cricket plays a dangerous game. He rubs together veins on the back of his wings to make a love song. He hopes to attract a mate. But it tells every other male exactly where his burrow is. Cricket's ears are in their legs, and this newcomer's gone weak at the knees for the crooner's love song. But it's not a lady. It's a dude. And he wants to steal the crooner's love pad. The crooner changes his tune. This song is a rival song. A warning. But this trespasser ain't listening. And if the song fails, how about a tirade of antennae lashes? If whips don't do the job, time to up the ante. Long hind legs help crickets jump 20 times their length. but their power can turn them into battering rams. The crooner leaves his most aggressive weapon to last. Mandibles, used for gripping food, are so powerful, they can catapult an opponent. The rival wrestlers go nuclear. The crooner reclaims his love pad. But it's no fairy tale ending for his shelterless foe. It's a nightmare.